What is time? We may think of time as a straight line, but is time linear, moving onward, progressing ever nearer towards some final destination? In nature, time is also cyclical, like the seasons. In springtime, the world comes alive with new life, followed by the growth of summer and the harvest of autumn. In the dead of winter, the world seems to lie in a deep sleep. Then spring returns and all of creation reawakens, and the cycle of the seasons begins all over again. Our lives too follow this pattern or life cycle. We are born, we blossom and grow like summer garden plants. Gradually our bodies grow weak with age, and we die. And then what? Is death the end? The final extinction? Does the human soul survive physical death? According to Hindu cosmology, the universe itself has a soul, which is called Atman. The universal soul has no physical form of its own, so it takes on the form of one of the three great gods. As Brahma, it is the creator of life. As Vishnu, it is the preserver of life. And as Shiva, it is the destroyer of life. Atman is present in the daily rhythm of life. At the dawn of each morning, he is the creator, giving birth to each new day. Throughout the duration of the day, he is the preserver and sustainer of life. And at the end of each day, as daylight dissolves into darkness, he is the destroyer. Hinduism teaches that the world is created not once, but repeatedly, time and time again. Each cycle is subdivided into 4 ages called the 4 Yugas, each lasting thousands of years. The first age of the world is called the Satya Yuga, or truthful age. It was a golden age when people were honest and morally pure. Their physical bodies radiated light and were translucent because they had nothing to conceal. They were taller and much lighter and less dense than our bodies of today. Because of their health and goodness, they lived much longer than we do. Some lived for thousands of years. They needed no shelters or homes, as gift-giving trees provided them with abundant food and clothing. Atman presided over the world in the form of Brahma, the creator of life. He established Dharma, or religious behavior, as a way of preserving civilization, and Dharma walked on 4 legs. The people spent their days in meditation, which was the highest virtue, and communed freely with the gods. They sang praises to the Creator and lived in perfect peace and spiritual wisdom, and sorrow did not exist. After a time, the Satya Yuga passed away. During the second age, called the Tetra Yuga, the people became self-absorbed. Each person wanted to be admired by others for his superior strength and heroic bravery. They competed to decide who was the most beautiful, the most virtuous, and the most intelligent. Dharma walked less securely on the earth, using only 3 of its 4 legs, as people became less interested in spiritual wisdom and in meditation. The gift-giving trees that had once supplied everyone's needs disappeared after greedy individuals tried to take them for their personal property. Vishnu, the preserver of life on earth, sent rainfall, which created rivers and fertile soil. Diverse plants and trees sprouted up from the earth, which bore fruit for human beings. But these were ordinary trees, and not gift-giving trees, so the people had to work to obtain food and clothing, and they had to build homes to shelter themselves from the rain. For the first time, life became difficult. As their eating habits changed, the people became heavier and thicker. As their physical senses became more acute, they began to lose their ability to talk with the gods or to connect with their inner selves. and then the second age of the earth passed into time. In the Dvapara Yuga, the third age of the world, only a few people remained virtuous. No longer were people satisfied with what they had, but they coveted their neighbors' possessions. The moral standards of society declined as the eternal Dharma had only 2 of its 4 legs remaining. As it walked the earth, it tottered unsteadily between good and evil as the gradual process of moral deterioration continued. Vishnu, the preserver of life, established religious doctrines to guide human behavior toward Dharma. But some people were more eager to indulge in pleasures. They offered animal sacrifices for their sins, which they considered the highest virtue. During this time, war was commonplace. Disease, suffering, and death were a normal part of everyone's existence. So the duration of this age is only half as long as the first age. The fourth and final epoch in the time cycle is a dark age of wickedness and falsehood, selfishness and ignorance, violence and war. It is also the shortest. People devote themselves to feeding their fleshly appetites, and they are always hungry for more. Marriage bonds are broken as individuals lose the ability to love one another and come together only to gratify their sexual urges. Moral purity is no longer valued. The pursuit of material wealth, pleasure, and power is all that matters. Success in life is bought through lies and deceit and using others for personal gain. It is an impersonal, mechanized society. A technological age of highly complex machines in which people have manipulated nature, split the atom, and altered the human DNA. The Kali Yuga is this present, modern age in which we live, the last age of the world. Having lost spiritual awareness, people value only sensory experience, what they can taste, touch, smell, hear, or see. The descent of the soul from spiritual consciousness to matter is complete, as many come to believe that the physical, material world is all there is. Dharma drags along with only one leg, no longer able to stand. Without Dharma, society disintegrates, and civilization brings destruction upon itself. People live in constant fear of disease, hunger, and death, and it is not uncommon for a person to die while still in their youth. The scripture says that in the last days of the Kali Yuga, chaos will increase as demons are unleashed upon the earth to spread evil and confusion. At the end of this dark age, there will come a great destruction. The universal soul will adopt the form of Shiva, the destroyer of life on earth. He will intensify the heat of the sun's rays. For 100 years, the world will be consumed with flames of fire until no living creature remains, and the earth is a scorched wasteland. Then he will send a devastating storm with thunder and lightning and rain clouds to obscure the sun and cloak the world in darkness. A heavy rain will fall upon the earth for 100 years until the whole world is drowned beneath the devastating floodwaters. As the world drowns, a large golden egg will appear, floating upon the dark waters of the boundless ocean. The egg contains the seeds of all life forms, of plants and animals, gods and men. Then, beside the desolate sea, Vishnu alone exists. Vishnu will sleep, and the world will sleep also, for 8 billion years. When the time is complete, it is said Vishnu will awaken from his great sleep, and once again, Brahma, creator of life on earth, will appear. He will emerge from the navel of Vishnu. He will break open the golden egg, and from its seeds he will recreate the world anew and the cycle of the universe will begin again.